Hey, how you doing everybody, guys? This is my brand new bike, giant Contend AR4. It's a very nice road bike. It's actually my first road bike, and I was riding hybrid track that I like a lot. I got into cycling about 3.5 years ago when I gained a lot of weight. I'm a big dude, I'm 6'4", but at the time I was 255 pounds and I knew I had to do something about it because I was working night shift, my eating habits weren't the best. And I used to be like 190 and I gained a lot of weight. So I started cycling. I dropped about 30 pounds in the first 6 months and now I'm about 205. So that's my regular weight. I guess because I built a lot of muscles in my legs as well because I'm riding a lot. And I picked up this Contend about a month and a half ago. And I was basically riding it on a trainer since it's winter. Oh, by the way, this is Coney Island. And today is a gorgeous day, absolutely fantastic. Can you see all the seagulls? And the ocean. Oh, look right there, look at the seagulls. It's a beautiful day. It's a little windy, but it's very warm. Anyway, back to the bike. Yeah, this is my first ride outside, and my first ride outside after recovering from COVID. That's another thing. Yeah, picked up that nasty thing a few weeks back. I mean, I had it mild, gave it to everyone in my family, but it ran like a mild flu anyway. And yeah, this is my first ride today on this beautiful Contend, and of course I made it all filthy, if you can tell. Yeah, it's lots of runs off from the snow and salt, and I'm gonna have to give it a full wash when I come back. The bike rides amazingly well and shifts beautifully after I've done a lot of work on it though, because it, even the crankset wasn't straight and the derailleur was bent. And the bike shop that sold it to me didn't do a good job putting it together, so I had to do everything. But after I've done everything, the bike rides really nice and shifts beautifully, and I have absolutely no complaint about clarity that it has. And the crank, it has FSA and it's a square bottom bracket, but it's nice. I mean, I have no problem with it so far. The bike feels great. One more tip. You see that post right here? That giant system? It has a tendency to slide down and it requires a torque wrench. So what you need to do, you need to put a carbon paste on the post and use the torque wrench, and then it stops sliding down, because otherwise you can over tighten and strip the screw, and no matter how much you tighten it will still slide down if you don't use the carbon paste. So I bought the Park Tool carbon paste. I don't have this me of this because I'm outside, but that's what you gotta do, and that's a good tip for this bike, to use the carbon paste and to use the torque wrench. Few parts have torque wrench settings on this bike, and even though it's an aluminum bike, it still requires a torque wrench on many parts. I guess because aluminum is much thinner these days. But anyway, here's my bike. Here's my Contend AR4. And by the way, the seat on this bike is extremely comfortable. Extremely comfortable. Very nicely done. And for the price, for $1,000, I think it's an amazing value for a beautiful bike. I also picked up a brand new helmet. It's a Bontrager It's called the Wave Cell. I think it's a nice looking helmet. Fits really well. I got a giant melon, so I need an extra large helmet, and it's very hard for me to find an extra large one. As I said, I'm a big dude, and this is the XL frame. I believe this is the largest one they make, and it fits me great. At least I think so. It feels very, I mean, it feels right, you know. And riding this bike feels a lot like riding a hybrid almost, because of the geometry. Once again, more of the Coney Island. And I'm gonna sit here on the bench for a few more minutes and ride back home, about 18 miles. And it's a beautiful ride for today. And then I gotta give this guy a full wash, otherwise the salt will start to corrode the paint, and I want to preserve it at least for one season, you know. I mean, preserve it for one season to look like new, and I'll probably ride it for 2-3 years before I upgrade. Alright, take care everyone.